What's going on, Hood Nation? It's your DFX, Luigi versus Tails. Please watch original full screen time. I'm live and you have additional shut up. Cool with the reactions, and also we don't skip ads here. No pressure. Don't set a good example. I will edit it though. So this is a Paper Mario Luigi versus like a Archie Sonic Tails. I think it's Anti-Tails. Because the audio is a little weird on this. I think it got recorded low, maybe. Very quiet. On the intro. It's alright. Wow. It's been forever since I've seen some of these Rewind 1 Rumbles. I actually do watch them sometimes, but, you know, it's one of those things I want to get back into doing it.
This isn't Tails versus Luigi.
Yeah.
This isn't a sidekick showdown. This is
have it
quite
very
literally the opposite. Not just figuratively. We have the anti-freedom fighter mastermind Anti-Tails and the hypnotized alter ego, the Green Thunder, MR.L. Today we find out which inverse
Mr. L
character
another
comes
L
out on top. Today we rewind Rumble.
Alright. See how this goes. But yeah, your audio is really low on this. That's okay. I'll compensate for it.
Kill Black's job as an evil count is not as easy as he makes it look. It takes quite a bit of work. Good thing, however, he has a really valuable assistant like Nastasia, pretty much being the best secretary an evildoer can ask for if you ask me. In fact, it was Nastasia who hypnotized Luigi into becoming MR.L. Back in 2007 in Super Paper Mario, when Luigi got captured and taken in by Count Black, Nastasia
I never got that far.
brainwashed. Luigi was hypnotized into believing that he should go fight Mario and be against him. Now, even while hypnotized, MR.L was longing for having a brother. This is where we introduce Brobot. Brobot is a robot, as you might guess. He's pretty much a robotic head with floating legs and hands, and was actually built by MR.L himself to serve as a sidekick, for lack of a better word. Because what would you call a sidekick anyway? Or maybe just reserve him as sidekick, since MR.L himself does not act like a sidekick. Unlike Luigi, MR.L has the mindset of a main role kind of guy. He's brave, adventurous, and confident. Compare that to the timid and scared Luigi. But then again, we could also take this as MR.L being
I don't know why
cocky
they made
and
my boy a
egotistical,
wuss.
like a villain almost. Though in reality, he's kinda treated like an outsider by most of the minions. So maybe he just doesn't fit into any of these categories. And side note, MR.L's mask must also be a really great disguise, because Mario seems to never recognize that MR.L is in fact his brother. MR.L's mask might actually be as good as Clark Kent's glasses. I don't know if it's better, but that's a different story for a different day. Now you're probably wondering, what are MR.L's powers and abilities? Well, mentally, MR.L and Paper Luigi act different. On a physical level, there isn't much to say that he's any more physically superior. There also isn't much to say that he's physically inferior as well, which leaves us with MR.L being near or a direct scale to Paper Luigi himself. And if you know anything about Paper Luigi, you would know that on a physical level, this is not a man you want to face in battle. Paper Luigi can scale to Paper Mario, and if you want to learn about the insane stats of Paper Mario, check out Paper Mario versus Archie Sonic. Paper Luigi can scale to having MFTL plus speed feats, easily have multi-solar system level durability and attack potency.
Lord of mercy.
MR.L even more dangerous in a sense is that he has an array of technology at his side. He was the one who built Brobot, and his mech has many different range attacks. As for weaknesses, MR.L's confidence
woman with an
easily
umbrella
turn
can
into
just sit on its
cockiness,
face
and
and
he was
defeat it,
ultimately defeated. But at least he is great at giving enemies nicknames. I mean, he calls Mario Mr. Jumps all the time, he calls Peach Miss Always Gets Kidnapped, and he calls Bowser Mr. Gets Foiled all the time by the guy with a mustache. I wonder what nickname he's going to give Anti-Tails. As Newton's third law states, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This seems to also be the case for fictional characters having multiple incarnations. For every Optimus Prime, there's a Nemesis Prime. For every Goku, there's a Goku Black. For every Superman, there's a Bizarro. And for every Miles, there's an Anti-Miles, also known as Miles Prower. But what a missed opportunity to call him Kilometers Prower. Well, maybe that does sound weird, I take it back. Now, Anti-Tails isn't a special case. There's an entire Anti-Mobius and an entire squad of suppressors known as, you guessed it, the Suppression Squad. The Suppression Squad members include Scourge the Hedgehog, although he was technically kicked out, but he is worth mentioning. How can you not mention this guy? Fiona Fox, Patch, Princess Alicia Acorn, Anti-Jeffrey, Boomer Walrus, Buns
Damn, they got
Rabbit,
all
and
of
of
them.
course Anti-Miles. The Suppression
I
Squad
love
or the
that
Anti-Freedom
Archie
Fighters
series.
had a few
When they had the
goals, some
comic
of
or they
which
made
are
the
self-explanatory.
cartoon.
They
It was
want
so
to stop
beautiful.
the actual Freedom Fighters,
Wonder
take
why they
over
canned it.
Anti-Mobius, and are pretty much the opposite of everyone's
All those,
favorite Blue Hedgehog
other
and his
Sonic
friends.
shows they
And
put on,
while
I
the
just- I can't
title
get
of this
into 'em.
video has
But I love the Archie
Anti-Tails,
one.
believe it or not, he hates being called Anti-Tails and would much prefer to be called Miles. Now maybe that's actually quite believable since the regular Tails loves his nickname.
But Sonic
Anti-Tails
gave it to him.
hating a nickname kinda makes sense. Miles joined the Anti-Freedom Fighters in a joint invasion to lead to the downfall of Ivor Robotnik and claim Mobius Prime. You would think this
Was
is
Robotnik
a
good in their
thing
universe?
if it not be for the fact that two wrongs don't make a right. The Anti-Freedom Fighters aren't really the group you want in power, to put it nicely. Now, while Anti-Tails is a bit of a counterpart to regular Tails, he's not exactly a polar opposite. He's more of a dark mirror archetype. If he was a complete opposite, he wouldn't be so smart, but this isn't true. He's kind of a genius in his own right, and on a physical
True.
level, he can easily scale to Archie Tails, which grants him some insane stats. This would easily make him MFTL Plus, Multi-Solar System Plus, and grant him extremely high stamina. It also makes him a
Crazy,
great
a bunch of little
tactician
furries
and
be
mechanical
running around blowing
genius.
up fucking
But just
planets and
because
shit,
they're
you know?
both great at mechanics doesn't mean he likes to participate in such an activity. The regular Tails loves his tech and isn't a fan of magic, whereas Anti-Tails is quite the fan of magic, is very conniving, and loves to scheme. And of course, Anti-Tails was one of the Tails who fused with the other Tails to form Titan Tails.
Jesus.
So if this monstrosity is something you aren't a fan of, you have Anti-Tails to partially blame. But if Titan Tails is something you are thankful
Not
for,
Titan
then
Tails,
you partially owe
DuckTales.
Anti-Tails a thanks for his efforts in creating this behemoth. Miles has a project known as Glow Posts,
like
which
a
seem
grown-ass
to
man
work
in a
like
furry suit.
teleportation ground bridges, and why an MFTL character needs to teleport is beyond me, but neither is Titan Tails, and yet he exists.
And now, let's get
Okay, the sound
ready
just
for
came
the
back.
fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember,
It's Frank.
there is no prep time. Let the battle begin.
I was to say commence. Oops. Oh, let the ad commence too. Begin. Sorry, I'll see you guys in a little bit here. I did it on my end. Alright, we are back, people. It's time for the fight. Damn, that old man's got some fucking speed. Wasn't their universe ever. Oh, he's mad, bro.
Stupid.
Ah,
Hey, little brat, be more careful next time, you stupid human.
I am Mr. L.
Mr. L. What a stupid name.
oh, done it. Oh. Oh, I think he just sawed our boy's stomach. Oh, it's hammer time. Oh, yeah. Stomped you, man. He almost looking like Green Lantern. You know? Ah, right in the booty. Gotta go! That tail's busted out a noob tube, man. What the hell? Oh, what the? Oh! Oh no, watch his butt.
Surrender now and rest in hell.
I'm a number one.
You stupid.
You must say stupid a lot in the comics. That's the only thing I can give is why you keep saying stupid. Ow!
Thunder.
Oh, the smoke clears. Can Mr. L get the W, or is he gonna get an L to match the hat?
Immobilized. This
Ew.
was a good fight after all. But you need to die now.
Summon Big Bro from Brobot. That was a quick recovery.
Attitude. Don't make your mama cry.
The coward, he says. You're the one that jumped inside a damn mech, like a Gundam suit. Is he praying? Oh. I'll say Tails does have the advantage. He can fly, so that is kind of an advantage. But I have no idea what that robot. We're gonna hear later on what that thing's capable. Oh, is he taking a shortcut? Think of the children! The child next to him is gonna get killed! No!
Your time is over.
Oh! 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 Oh, he got
What's
the
that?
he got the bone like Among Us, didn't he? At the end, you see that little, the little dog bone sticking out of the torso?
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Hampton Pro. I'd also like to thank Cyril Smith VA for the voice acting, and I owe a huge thanks to the Mecha Gamer for specially requesting this episode. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis.
He's a maniac. He's a maniac.
Mr. L stays true to his name and takes an L, making Miles the winner. But he doesn't win by miles, he probably wins by inches, as it is quite
Oh wow,
a
so it's
battle.
pretty close.
Both characters are insanely fast, strong, durable, and powerful. But we gotta keep in mind
Okay.
that Mr. L is not going to have the pure hearts like Paper Luigi would have. In fact, the blue heart was granted to the heroes after they defeated Mr. L. And while Super Dimentio could easily give Mr. L the victory, I don't think it'd be fair to factor that considering Dimentio is in control of that form. This fight is a lot like base Archie Tails versus base Paper Luigi.
I take it
Not
that
Paper
didn't
Luigi
well.
at his best versus Archie Tails at his best, but base Paper Luigi versus base Archie Tails. That's essentially what I see Mr. L versus Anti-Tails being regarding their physicality at least. With those scales in mind, I think Anti-Tails has an edge in travel speed and likely a slight edge in reaction speed. Also considering that Mr. L relies far more on tech than Anti-Tails, this could actually come as a detriment, believe it or not. Anti-Tails is far more naturally mobile with his natural flight capabilities. The Brobot isn't super convenient for fighting smaller sized individuals. Why do you think Paper Mario never opted to get a giant mech suit to go against it? He always had a mobility advantage attacking something while he was being physically smaller, making the
That's
winner
true.
of this Rumble Anti-Tails.
On the net.
Okay, we didn't hear any beats though to back up
Raid
your
is a
claim, but
free-to-play
that's okay.
action RPG for both PC and mobile. There are over 500 badass champions to collect and battle through dungeons and PvP. In the most recent update, they actually put me in the game. That's right, I have my
undead.
very own champion, Saito. Saito is a legendary undead samurai who looks like a total badass. I mean, seriously, just look at this guy. This dude's armor is insane. I helped design the character as well as did all the facial and motion capture for the game. Along with
That's
Saito,
cool.
a bunch of new champions were released, as well as the Artifact Forge and a new advanced questing system. I love the art style of this game, so I'm so honored to have my very own character fighting alongside so many incredible looking champions. But I'm legit addicted to this game that it's actually becoming a problem. I have Raid running on my PC at all times so I can grind dungeons for gear while I work.
Raid, now available for PC and Mac.
Cool looking character. Actually got the game running right here on the side of my cell phone.
I've been changing my diet constantly for the past 2 years.
I've also been wanting to work out lately, and I want to know what works for me and what works for my body.
Gives you over 500 reports about yourself.
Give you so much more than just getting to know who your ancestors are.
So there's so many different categories. You got your diet, your nutrition.
What type of exercise is best,
Supposedly-
suit your body?
It's a really kind of in-depth one, lots of information. Definitely.
So this thing knows your body? Is that my understanding? Circle DNA. Huh. Know yourself. Optimize your body and wealth, happiness. Huh. Interesting. I'm definitely gonna look at that.
Definitely worth trying.
Sounds legit to me. Probably gonna be like, no carbs for you. Starting to get a dad bod.
Next episode of Rewind Rumble.
Yes, call it back. Ray Trinity. What the hell's going on? right, Mega Man, get his ass. Uh-oh. Oh, he's taking a pro. Oh, hell no. Oh, there I am on the right. Yay, NidgeDFX. Corin O'Keefe. I remember him. Animator. Sarah Johnson. John Reacts. Okay. Cool. Oh, you know, I'm going to tune in next time because you know Mega Man my favorite. So, Beck. I don't know who that is, so I'm looking forward to it. And I wonder what version of Mega Man they're going to use because obviously there's Archie Mega Man. There's video game Mega Man. And then there's an old Saturday morning cartoon Mega Man. So I don't think they're going to use him, but... And I hope you like my reaction to this, everybody. If you want to join Hood Nation, stuff like that, chance to do so, to be floating up above. Of course, you know we got some playlist videos out there to get your feet wet, but you know, make a cup of tea, y'all go find it. It's out there. Believe it. This is Nidge from DFX. I'm out.